मेरा रेसिपी बदल गया।
मुझे 3 दिया आधी क्लास में 3 दिया और बोले तो इसी में
अरे तो इंग्लिश 2 में कितना मिला लेकिन
60
इंग्लिश 2 में ज्यादा है। अच्छा कम मिला इंग्लिश का आंसर बस 90 हाई के आसपास होना चाहिए।
मैंने 8 पेज के आंसर्स दिए दुनिया भर के कीवर्ड्स दिए 0 दिया तो 4 आंसर है इससे क्यों आया
मुझे ऐसे रिपोर्ट कार्ड में 700 का आया था
मुझे
और 1000
इसने बोला मेरा
साइड में
इसने बोला वो बोल
नाम नहीं बोल रही मैं
उसका आंसर स्टोरी मालूम नहीं है तुझे नहीं बोल रहा
मैं नाम नहीं लूंगी मैं नाम नहीं लूंगी
मुझे नहीं सबका मालूम है बस मुझे आधा चीज मालूम नहीं मेरा उसने मेरा ऑलरेडी 50 का गड़बड़ है हिस्ट्री ऑफ हिस्ट्री उससे 74 704 मुझे नहीं
क्या तुम्हारे का होगा लिखना है मुझे 700 के आगे मिल जाएगा मेरा यूटी अच्छा है टर्म भी अच्छा है टर्म में सिर्फ मैथ्स और इंग्लिश वन खराब है बाकी सारे अच्छे क्या अभी मैथ्स में बराबर से खा रहे हो राइट
तुम्हारी पिछले
हमारी भी
नहीं बोला है नहीं बोला
नाम नहीं लूंगी
नहीं इनसे पता
मैं नाम नहीं लूंगी
मैंने प्रोजेक्ट नहीं किया अपना कोई मार्क्स लगाए
इसे मैं इंग्लिश पढ़ता कर रही है
मैंने सारे प्रोजेक्ट
इंग्लिश में लिया है खराब है
हमारी लाइफ में फ्रेंडशिप जीन से इंग्लिश टीचर 100 से ज्यादा सही
तुम लोग का इंग्लिश में जैसे पास वो असेसमेंट एनालिसिस के ना हां वो आदि
लास्ट बस तो ये अपसेट
और समझने वाली और आज तक ऑल ओवर मेरे इंग्लिश गाइस डैफोडिल्स और रोमन एल्बम का क्वेश्चन भी ये डैफोडिल्स का क्या पढ़ा मान लो आज क्वेश्चन दिया लेकिन पढ़ा है और उनके अरे ऊपर तुझे तीसरा को मारा खेती तेरा पैर में नुकसान लगा पैर को आजकल इतनी हम लोग का वाइगर और रेडी करके गला आवाज वाइगर तेरे वाइगर बॉडी नहीं पास कर रहे हैं नहीं करेगा श्रेष्ठ को तो जिससे ज्यादा फाउल किया उसको दिया भी नहीं आज डिवीजन भेजना मैं को उधर ही कमिटी मारने का मैंने तो श्रेष्ठ को उतना मेरा 4 बार तो मैंने दे रही हूं बॉडी समिति पर पास कर मी वाचून होते नंतर लॉकडाऊन चे क्लास होते हां इसके लिए ना कहां पे ना 3 वर्ष मैं क्लास जाती थी मुझे ट्रेनिंग क्लास जाती हम लोग के साथ आता था अरे मैं आजा मैं दोनों पिकनिक पर जाता मेरा पता नहीं
Good evening.
Good evening.
How are you all? You're coming after very long. Yes, you also after very long. Exam over?
हाँ एग्जाम हुआ मैम लास्ट टाइम वी हैड अ पिकनिक दैट
Where did you all go?
अभी कहते हैं कल्चर
Culture.
मोटेरा जाता हूँ
Resort. क्या किया resort में?
स्कूल में गए
अच्छा.
हाँ मेरा बैठ गया है
हाँ, इतना मजा किया. Which one? School friend. You think you did that? My textbook was English not marking. Excuses you're giving me. English not marking. Sure. You should have make some take it from her if you have plans. You're trying to help someone. Okay, help, but it shouldn't lead to difficulties for you. That. So today what should we do? Like, huh? 9 more and finish. Huh? What looks? In fact, all summer we did last time. You all were not there. And I told you to prepare with some this chapter. वो कोई याद नहीं कराएगा. वो कोई याद नहीं करेगा. Which one was?
That's what is open and the man engineering is.
2 chapters were there. 2 chapters to poem. I remember very well.
No.
Yes. हाँ. Which was the other one? All summer in a day. And MOV Act for scene 1 and 2.
Only that coding.
MOV is also there. Okay, revise them now. Even for those who have just come and who didn't know. Which were the chapters? Bolo ek baar aur.
That code is open and the man engineering disguise.
Engineering disguise and yeah, and just confirm once. All summer. कौन आ गया? All summer I had told, no? Wait, do one thing, you just read it, whatever you can understand. And what we'll do is next class, next class you all come with whatever additionally you all want me to do. All summer in a day हो गया या 9 gold medals हो गया, कुछ भी portion में से वो होगा ना, so I will do that again. Hello. हाँ इतने ठेला ना मीडियम ना. हाँ 586 Okay, I'll just check. Your exam, your assessment is over. What all did you all have? Ryan students are there here. Nobody from Ryan.
That's what I got the paper since the main grade and short stories, incident life, written by like Ruby and my greatest memory. And then movie and Sabi and
So see, this will have MOV, okay, MOV at, it will be of 1 hour, 40 marks, okay, like the same format as your exam paper. And I'll tell you the chapters and see the question. Now, last week I had told you all to prepare. तो तुम लोग तो बोलो ही मत, ये इसका अलग बात है. MOV I had not told you, but it's there now. So I'm giving you time to revise. Now you were also not. अरे यार, तो क्या ठीक है, तो अभी नहीं करना है क्या? अरे I'll tell you the chapters at least properly. So next week prepare. Now you won't have an excuse.
I prepared for the chapters. They all did not prepare.
They didn't prepare. Only he prepared. Why all didn't prepare? What you're hiding behind her? ये तो अच्छे से छुपी गई है? MOV first you'll write down at 4 scenes 1 and 2. In chapter you write down Angel in Disguise. Angel in Disguise and this thing. This greatest Olympic prize. And poems में daffodils, Abu Baby. So 2 chapters, 2 poems, MOV at 4 scene 1 and 2. Okay. Now what do you all want to revise? All summer? All summer last time he किया था, but they were not there. You 3 of them. So now the others will explain. Huh? जो थे, they will explain. Huh?
did we do television?
You don't have.
Yes.
Mommy don't have
You all have 6 to 10. Television 9 standard has. You all don't have only now. Lucky people. So you all have only these 6 to 10 here and 6 to 10 here. All the
12.
no. See, in your first MCQ question, you all have seen the format. Huh? So how is it? First you have MCQs of how many marks? 16 marks. Huh? So in MCQs you will have 1 question of each. Of all the chapters and all the poems and MOV. There also nothing is going to get skipped. So which means you cannot totally omit any chapter. MCQ में आया तो वो करना पड़ेगा. And the others, you'll have 3 sections where 1 will be MOV. You'll have 2 questions. MOV, what all do you have? Act 4 and Act 5. Act 3 scene 1 onwards you'll have. So from the entire MOV, you'll have 2 main questions of 16 marks each. 3, 3, 3, 4. That will be the order. Like you'll have all questions of 3 and 1 of 4. That makes it 16. Correct? How? 3 4s are 12. So 3, 3, 3, 3. and 1/5 one of 4 marks. 30, 40, 15, 60. Like that, you'll have 2 questions. Next section will be poems. In poems, again, there are 5 that you will have, but you will be asked 2 questions, out of which you have to write any one. So from the 3 sections, you have to, and again in your prose also, you will have 2 questions. No. No, you saw, let's check the format, no? Huh?
Yes, ma'am. 3 only, 0 and 3 0.
Let's open the format.
Mostly which chapter is asked? Which?
Sorry?
Mostly which prose is asked?
Mostly which?
Poetry or
Anything. You see. Literature. Later, I think we can only solve this paper. So this will be your MCQ. And read the main this also. 15 minutes reading time and 2 hours paper. वो fix ही रहता है. Yeah. This paper has 4 sections. Section A compulsory, that is MCQ. All have to be answered. And in MCQ, you need not write the question. बस ये number लिखने का A, B, C, whatever the option is, and then write the statement. Okay. So you must attempt one question each from A, B, C, from B, C, D, and the other question from any other section of any section of your choice. See question 2, save, and question 3. So see, this is first, MOV. So you will have your question 2 and question 3. कितने questions हो गए? 2. Then section C, prose. That is question 4 and question 5. कितने questions हो गए? 2 हो गए, 2, not 3. And section D, that is poetry. We will have 6 and 7. Finished. क्या? What are you calculating? So total you will write 5 questions. You were saying 3 है ना? Actually, your term paper, when was it?
It ended in October. Not October.
You had MCQs?
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, same format, just the questions for each. Yes. We got 3 for each section.
But in a board you won't get that. Now, if you see, I have the Icse phone the Ryan Khargar paper, Icse. So there they got properly as per the format, where first we have MCQs and 2 questions of each. But why they were more lucky is because in their syllabus they had to do only. So it becomes easy, you know, one of each is going to come. But then in MCQ, you will have MCQ, so you can't skip. So now see, out of these 5, you will have any 2 coming. So तुम लोग skip तो कुछ भी कर ही नहीं सकते. Yes, you can plan your things that okay, if I have an option, I won't do this. Like say for your chapters. Maybe if I was in your place, I would have not gone for blue wheel. वो बहुत descriptive है, बहुत detail में है, लंबा chapter है, I would have gone for that. So at least, but still I cannot skip because MCQs में आया तो I need to know every detail. How old she was, why was she called a child woman, how did she save the Gujar woman, everything. I can't omit anything. So you can decide what you would preferred, but आएगा कुछ दो ही आएंगे, हाँ? So means from all the remaining 3 sections you do 1, 1, 1 and 1 extra from any other section. तो वैसे करके तुम लोग 5 हो जाएंगे. You all got 3 now, so that was an advantage. But what's meaning of this? Rest of your year exams that went now?
December 1st.
अच्छा, pre-boards.
Ma'am, so on 28 hours. From 28 hours.
So how do you all want us to go about it? Now see where our portion is concerned, we have almost finished, yes, so all summer in a day we'll do again today. बाकी अपना हो गया. तुम लोगों को कुछ additional chapters या कुछ extra revision चाहिए तो वो मेरे को बताओ तो next week we can do it. After that we will end the class. Then you all can revise at home. Or do you all want me to come and take your grammar practice? ऐसे कुछ करेंगे तो बताओ. We'll revise at home. क्या बोली? वही बोली ना? What did she say? She said that only, no? हाँ, see? चलो. Page 107. Last time we didn't read this box. Even these boxes, these introductory things, no, these are also important because they have some words which you could use in your answers. So, ignore mat karna. So I'll just read this first. Ray Douglas Bradbury was an American fantasy, science fiction, horror, and mystery fiction author. His short story, All Summer in a Day, is set on the planet Venus and describes in vivid detail. Vivid means very clearly, in detail. It's very descriptive, the language. The day when the planet experiences sunshine, an event that occurs only once in 7 years. The scene is set in a school where the teachers and children await the appearance of the sun. The story explores the darker side of human nature that is manifest even in children. Manifest means that exists, that shows up in children as they pick on Margaret simply because they see her as different from them. Bradbury's tale ends on a note of hope as the children seem to feel shame and remorse for their thoughtlessness. अब इसमें write down over there main themes: bullying, put a hyphen dash, caused by jealousy and envy. Then next sentence write down: bullying others who are inferior. Bullying others who are inferior is an element. Bullying others who are inferior is an element so deeply rooted in human nature that it perpetuates, perpetuates across centuries. because this story is set like centuries in future, where children are going to Mars. But we've seen that that element of jealousy, of envy, that exists even at that time. So, okay, and bus, ठीक है. So, reading do I do? You all want to do turn by turn? क्या करना है? Reading करना है? Read page by page. There are plenty of changes. 1, 2, 3, 4. How many? 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. एक रह जाएगा. ठीक है. Those who are जो रह जाता है, let it not be one of those who was not there. जो नहीं थे उनको पहले पढ़ने दो, फिर जो रह गए क्या करें. So start. अरे कौन सी क्या नींद आ रही है? जो कहते We are wondering whether you are starting.
Chapter 10, all summer in a day. Read up the Bradbury. Ready? Ready. Now, soon. Did the scientists really know? Will it happen today? Will it? Look. See for yourself. The children pressed to each other like so many roses, so many beads intermixed, peering out for a look at the head of the sun. It rained. It had been raining for 7 years. Thousands upon thousands of days, compounded and filled from one end to the other with rain, with the drum and gush of water, with the sweet crystal fall of showers and the concussion of storms, so heavy they were tidal waves come over the islands. 1,000 forests had been crushed under the rain and grown up 1,000 times bigger again. And this was the way life was forever on the planet Venus. And this was the schoolroom of children of the rocket men and women who had come to a reigning world to set up civilization and live out their lives.
Okay. So, what did we read till here? Who will explain? Those who were there will have to explain more. Why, except these three. You explain.
That in Venus it has been raining for 7 years, and here Margaret was living on Earth. He has come to Venus.
She?
She
She
has come to Venus. And they have came in the reading world to set up this civilization.
Who were they? They were?
Margaret.
Who were Margaret's parents? They were people of the earth. They were scientists. So they were planning to start up a civilization in Venus. Okay. And what was the climate in Venus? How was it? It used to rain continuously, and sun used to come out
For once in
Once in 7 years. For how much time? One place actually is written 1 hour, and then it's also mentioned as the sun came for 2 hours. I think 2 places is written sun used to come for 2 hours. वो अभी ये तकलीफ को बोलना पड़ेगा तुम्हारे में कॉन्ट्रडिक्शन है. एक बार बोलते हो 1 hour, एक बार बोलते हैं 2 hours. Okay.
Ma'am, what is the meaning of period here?
अच्छा, now I'll explain in detail. एक करके चल पढ़ती हूँ वापस. तो मैं ही पढ़ूँ क्या? So while reading only I'll examine, तो double हो जाएगा. So I'll start from here. It had been raining. It had been raining for thousands, for 7 years, thousands upon thousands of days compounded and filled from one end to the other with rain. So it used to rain incessantly in Venus, at Venus, with the drum and gush of water. That's the sound. With the sweet crystal fall of showers and the concussion of storms so heavy that there were tidal waves come over the island. So there were tidal waves. So it was totally covered with water, and it used to constantly keep raining. A 1,000 forests had been crushed under the rain. Right? When you have more rain, you're going to have a lot of trees coming, just like evergreen rainforest. So they had again been crushed because of the heavy rainfall under the rain and grown up 1,000 times to be crushed again. Huh? So they used to grow again, they used to be crushed because of the heavy rain and storm. And this was the way life was forever on planet Venus. And this was the schoolroom of the children of the rocket men and women. So rocket men and women means the scientists who had sent their children here to study, who had come to a raining world to set up civilization and live out their lives. It's stopping, it's stopping. Huh.
Ma'am, what is the meaning of peering?
Peering, where is it?
In many weeks in the next year.
Acha, upar wala. Look, see for yourself. The children press to each other like so many roses, so many weeds. Weeds are what?
Unwanted.
Unwanted, जो झाड़ी जो grow होता है ना side में, those are weeds. So many weeds intermixed, peering out. So they were peeping out. So peering out for a look at the hidden sun means because they were in a place where it was totally cloudy, raining, and now the sun was going to come. So they were all eager to look at that one glimpse of the sun and to go out in the sun.
Ma'am, meaning of
किधर आया है?
the paragraph second one.
Compounded means more and more.
Then concussion.
Sound. Concussion of storm. The sound of storms. So it's stopping, it's stopping. Yes. So what is stopping now? The rain. Yes. Margot stood apart from them. From these children who could ever remember a time when there wasn't rain. And rain. So they did not remember ever a time when there is no rain. They were all 9 years old. And if there had been a day 7 years ago when the sun had come out for an hour and showed its face to the stunned world, stunned is the shocked, surprised world, they could not recall, they could not remember. Why they could not remember?
They were 2 years old.
Yes, correct. Now they were 9 years old and the sun had come when they were 7 years back. So which means they were how old at that time? कौन बोला 4?
2
तू बोली? नहीं calculation बराबर है, maths में problem है. So that time they were 2 years old. So when you're 2 years, where do you remember what happened? So they did not recall. They could not remember. Sometimes at night, she heard them stir. Stir means to move about. Like sometimes you're lying down, you want to sleep, you're not getting sleep, you move from here to there. That is stirring. So at night, she heard them stir in remembrance, and she knew they were dreaming and remembering gold or a yellow crayon, means thinking of the sun. A yellow crayon or a coin large enough to buy the world with, because the sun is round. She knew they thought they remembered the warmness. She knew they thought they remembered a warmness like a blushing in the face. Blushing in the face means when all the blood flows to your face, that's called blushing. You go red. Blushing girls के लिए बोलते हैं ना, blushing, why are you blushing? या boys के लिए भी. It's like when you're feeling shy, when you're feeling awkward about something, that's blushing. So they knew, they remembered a warmness like a blush. तुम लोग हंसते क्या रहते हो रे? दोनों? हाँ? बीच बीच में हंसते हुए मेरे को लगता है मैंने ऐसा कुछ किया क्या कि तुम लोग हंस रहे हो, या मैंने कुछ बोला या मैंने कुछ ऐसा एक्शन किया कि तुम लोग हंस रहे हो। हाँ, मेरे ऊपर हंसते हो तुम लोग? नो नो, होगा तो भी कहाँ हाँ बोलने वाले हो। ओके, सो yes, so they remembered a warmness like a blushing in the face, in the body, in the arms and legs and trembling hands. But then they always awoke to the tatting drum. Tatting drum is the sound of the rain. When you have rain falling, okay, dhat 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 आवाज आता है ना? So the tatting drum, they used to wake up to that sound. The endless shaking down of clear bead necklaces upon the roof. What was this? Clear bead necklaces? Huh? Yes, the rain droplets. So when those drops fall, एक drop, it looks like a bead, a necklace of beads. So endless shaking down of clear bead necklaces upon the roof, the walk, the gardens, the forest, and the dreams. And their dreams were gone. All day yesterday, they had read. So today was a day when the sun was going to come up in the sky. All day yesterday, they had read in class about the sun, about how like a lemon it was and how hot. And they had written small stories or essays or poems about it. I think the sun is a flower that blooms for just 1 hour. That was Margaret's poem, read in a quiet voice in the still classroom while the rain was falling out. So what did Margaret write? That the sun represented a flower. Yes, that blooms just for 1 hour because the sun comes only for 1 hour. So it's a flower that blooms only for 1 hour. Last time I told you all also, I couldn't remember the name of that flower, but there is one flower that actually blooms in the entire year only for 1 hour and it again closes. 1 hour means it blooms and then it closes back. So that was Margaret's poem. Or you didn't write that, protested one of the boys. I did, said Margaret. I did. William, said the teacher. Okay, because he was harassing her now. Imagine you've written something, you've done something on your own, and then you're told, hey, तेरे को तो आता नहीं है, तू कैसा ये लिखने वाला है? ये तूने नहीं लिखा. How are you going to feel? You won't like it. So she was just being bullied by these other children now. But that was yesterday. Now the rain was slackening. Slackening means reducing. And the children were crushed in the great thick windows. Why were they crushed in the great thick windows? Yes. Yes, they all rushed to get a sight of a glimpse of the sun. Where's teacher? She'll be back. She'd better hurry, we'll miss it. Right? Because they are all closed now. And where do they live? Underground. Yes, they live underground. They cannot live on the surface because there's constant rain. So their homes are built in tunnels under the ground.
Right. So what they will miss?
They'll miss going out, they'll miss being able to experience the heat of the sun. They're inside. No. The teacher won't allow them, they won't be able to go out. क्या बोलते हैं उसको?
पिछले बार भी क्या है?
हाँ. So we'll miss it. So what will they miss? They'll miss going and experiencing the sun. They turn on themselves like a feverish wheel, all tumbling spokes. Feverish wheel, tumbling spokes. What are the spokes? Yes, the sides are this. So that is a spoke. So because they were all in constant movement, motion, so that's why they are referring to them as feverish wheel, all tumbling spokes. Feverish is like a crazily moving wheel. But here they were not representing any wheel, but they were constantly in motion. No? They were all rushing together. Then Margot stood alone. She was a very frail girl. What is frail?
Weak.
Weak, thin. Frail girl who looked as if she had been lost in the rain for years. And the rain had washed out the blue from her eyes and the red from her mouth and the yellow from her hair. What does this represent?
Sadness.
Sadness. She had lost all color, all joy from her life. So what? Washed away the blue from her eyes, the red from her mouth, and the yellow from her hair. So which means she had become pale, sad, sick. She was sick of being here. Then she was an old photograph dusted from an album, whitened away. Whitened means pale. And if she spoke at all, her voice would be a ghost. Ghost, huh? Unheard. Nobody would even come to know what she is saying. She had literally no existence at all over here. Now she stood. Now here this photograph dusted, she was like an old photograph dusted from an album. This represents that when you are not happy with something, then physical changes also start appearing in you. Right? वो तो होता ही है ना? Nostalgia and longing. Nostalgia is what? Nostalgia?
Remembering old times.
Yes, remembering the old times. So she was nostalgic about what old times? About the sun that she had seen earlier, which she was not able to see. And longing means deep desire, strong desire to have something. Craving. So what was she craving for now?
Sun.
For the sun. So now she stood separate, staring at the rain and the loud wet world beyond the huge glass. Loud why? Because of the rain. Yes, the rain, the storm, the loud noises. What are you looking at? Said William. Margot said nothing. Speak when you are spoken to. He gave her a shove. What is a shove? साइड में धक्का देना हाँ ये ऐसा इतना जोर से नहीं ऐसे थोड़ा हल्का सा shove देना. So he gave her a shove, but she did not move. Rather, she let herself be moved only by him and nothing else, which means nothing affected her. She had become so emotionless, so feelingless. She had become so sad over here that nothing was affecting her. Correct? To be moved only by him and nothing else means only physically she got moved, but nothing else affected her. They edged away from her and they would not look at her. Edged away from her means they used to avoid her and they used to not look at her. She felt them go away. And this was because, so why they used to edge away from her? This was because she would play no games with them in the echoing tunnels of the underground city. So they were living in the underground city and in the echoing tunnels. Why echoing tunnels are we saying? It's going to be enclosed completely. So that's why echoing tunnels of the underground city. So she used to not play with them. Why she used to not play?
Because
She is
sad and gloomy.
Yes, she's sad and gloomy. She's not happy being there. So, if you're out of force being sent somewhere, I had given you on the example of boarding school last time, right? So, if you go to a boarding school and you're not happy being there, what's going to happen? You won't interact with your friends. You won't make friends only because you'll be all aloof in one corner. And on top of it, if you have people like her classmates, like William and the others, who are not trying to be friendly with you, your condition is going to be even worse. So, if they tagged her and ran, she stood blinking after them and did not follow. Tag is what like catching hook. Okay, pakda pakdi. So she used to, which means she used to not interact, she used to not play with them also. When the class sang songs about happiness and life and games, her lips barely moved. Because what she doesn't feel it, what is she going to sing? Only when they sang about the sun and the summer did her lips move as she watched the drenched windows. Drenched means totally wet. Okay, so what was the only time that she sang? When
they sang on the sun.
Yes, when they sang about the sun and the summer, because that's what she was missing the most. And then, of course, the biggest crime of all was that she had come here only 5 years ago from Earth. She had come 5 years ago. Means at what age had she come?
4.
Yes. And she remembered the sun and the way the sun was and the sky was when she was 4 in Ohio. So where is she from? Ohio. Yeah, you know where your MCQs are concerned, all these little things become important. So read it minutely. And they had been on Venus all their lives. They means all these other children. And they had been only 2 years old when the last sun came out and had long since forgotten the color and the heat of it and the way it really was. But Margaret remembered because Margaret has lived on earth for 4 years. So for more time of her life, she has experienced the sun and how it is at earth. So that's why she didn't remember, she didn't forget that. Whereas the others had the experience, they did not know it only. Then, it's like a penny, she said once, eyes closed. Eyes closed, why? Because she is imagining that. No, it's not, the children cried. It's like a fire, she said, in the dark. You're lying. You don't remember, cried the children. So see here, what does this indicate? Mockery and putting others down. They are trying to put her down. She knows something. So in fact, if someone knows, you should ask that person, no? Okay, what is it? But they don't want to accept it, that she knows more. So then they will put her down. But she remembered and stood quietly apart from all of them and watched the patterning windows. Patterning means the design that is formed with the drops of rain falling. And once a month ago, she had refused to shower in the school shower rooms. She had clutched her hands to her ears and over her head. What is this? Clutching her hands to her ears and over her head. Means you're covering this and you're covering your head. Like, I don't want to get wet. Okay, so why did that happen? हंसती क्या है? हाँ नहीं मुझे पानी नहीं चाहिए मुझे नहाना भी नहीं I hate water like that. So she had started having such a strong dislike for water. So after that, dimly she sensed it. She was different. Dimly means, she started getting that feeling in her. Lightly, you can say. She started getting that feeling that she was different. And they knew her difference and kept away. There was talk that her father and mother were taking her back to Earth next year. It seemed vital to her that they do so. Vital means important. So it was important that they do so means that they take her back to the Earth next year, though it would mean the loss of thousands of dollars to her family because her family is from Earth. They must have spent crores of rupees sending her to Mars, to Venus, to Venus. But still, despite that, I'd given you all the example again. Here, I'd given you the example of the boarding school. That if you all don't like it, okay, your parents have paid the fees, this, that, and half of it won't be refundable also, correct? They've spent on your traveling, they've paid for your hostel, everything. But you're not liking it. So what will your parents do? You don't like it so much that it starts affecting you. And you're genuine in not liking it. What will your parents, what option? They won't say, udhar hi rahe man. They won't do that, right? Right? They won't do that. So they will get you back despite losing the money. Hmm? So a similar thing happened here that her parents, she was getting so affected by it that her parents had decided to take her back to the earth, though it meant a loss of thousands of dollars to her family. They were from the US, so that's why dollars. And so the children hated her for all these reasons of big